It's pretty amazing to think about how far you have come. If you have been following along and doing everything that I have suggested, I'm sure you're beginning to see some sort of a change. Like, even if it is the mere fact that you are motivated to open up that email and listen to what it is that I have to say. So I hope this isn't too far long into the program, but I thought that a good thing to look at today would be, when should I work out? At one time when I first started doing personal training back in '98, we had always encouraged people to work out first thing in the morning. And ultimately that was just because you get up, you get to the gym, you get things done. But really there are some other thoughts at this point in my career that I take into consideration. So the big thing is to just choose a time that you know you will have the most energy and without a fault to get that workout in. So it could be at 5 o'clock in the morning. It could be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when you're taking a lunch break. It could be at 5:30 when you've gotten back home from work, or maybe it's after the kids are in bed at 8 or 8:30 at night and you know that you're going to work out in your house. And a lot of times that's what I end up doing. So just make sure that that time that you choose is something that's going to be successful for you. Do you work out better on a full stomach? If you work out better on a full stomach, then you're probably going to do better with your workouts later in the day after you've had a meal or two and it has had time to digest. And ultimately, when you do that, you are better equipped energy-wise for your workout later in the day as well. If it's first thing in the morning, if you're okay on an empty stomach, then that's totally fine. But it is a personal preference. And as far as research on losing more weight working out on an empty stomach, I'm not so sure that I personally feel that it's effective. So just choose what feels best for you. Okay, so are you looking for an accountability partner? And if you are, that may lead you to kind of sway back and forth as to what time of day is going to work best for you. So if you're relying on someone else to work with, then that's going to determine the time as well. Some other things to think about: there's a lot of people who like to run or, go for walks or maybe go to the gym late at night. That's another thing to think about if you are doing this alone. Safety is an issue, so that's something else to consider. Let's see. This one's kind of funny. You can always sleep in your workout clothes, which is true because you're in a pair of sweatpants maybe and a tank top. It's really easy to do that. So then when you wake up in the morning, you're all ready to go. Just get into your, wherever it is that your workout equipment is, even if you have to drive to the gym, get things going. And the other thing is that a lot of people find that they have more energy in the morning after they have had a workout. So that's something else to think of too. Do you find that you are more energized throughout the day? If you're finding that you're more lethargic, then you could be that person that needs to wait until you've had a meal or two that has been able to digest so that your body has the energy to get through the workout and the rest of the day. Another advantage, of course, to working out in the morning is the fact that you're done. But one drawback that I have seen with clients is that they think that they've worked out so they can do all of this crazy stuff the rest of the day to sabotage all the good work that they've done. So think about that as well. Do you just want to curl up and do nothing when you come home from work? That's another thing to consider, because if you feel that that's most of the way, most of how, your days end, then evening workouts just may not work for you. If you're trying to work towards, more strength, or you do need that extra boost of nutrition from the day's worth of food, ultimately you have to think about that as well. So we're going back and forth to that thought. Another thing is that, and I find with myself, if there's a crazy day, a lot of times I do like to end with a workout because it's very good with reducing stress. So that's just another consideration. Let's see. When can you count on consistency? Kids' schedules, work, last minute work meetings. So that's another thing to think of. What time of day is better for you that you know that there really isn't going to be a change in schedule? So if you're going off to work and you know that you may have evening meetings, that may not be a time to rely on. So there's a lot of things to put into this and a lot of things to consider. So this is just another part of the equation where you really need to sit down and think about what works best for you. There really isn't no specific scientific evidence that says if you work out at this time of day, this is where you're going to see the best results, because really the best results are going to come from you, and it's going to come from the consistency. And if you want to go over this with me, definitely email me, as I have said before, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.